to our show. We have a lot of exciting things on the way, a really amazing guest who we just can't get enough of, and some really unique news about our own podcast. We're hitting it up nowadays, huh?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Julia. Usually we try not to be part of the news because we want to report on all the cool things that are happening in Colorado. And if we're talking about us, we can't talk about them. But we found the perfect way to marry those two things. So we mentioned last week we were going to come out with the Support Local Film Vault. And that was going to have all of our favorite movies from local artists, people we love to talk to, and new things that they're coming out with that we just want to share. So that's why we have someone very special on the podcast, and they are actually the first person that will be ever inducted to the Support Local Film Vault. His name is Jack Cosgriff, and not only is he a Muppet, his movie The Flesh of Another is a perfect film. It's about cannibalism, it's about romance, and it's just so great to have you on the show. Jack, tell us all about The Flesh of Another.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. What an honor. And I'm so grateful that I get to be here and talk about my gay cannibal movie. It's definitely interesting. It's somewhere in between horror, romance, and somewhere in between schlock and an art movie.
Gotta love that mixture. Gotta love it. No, I think your visual effects just works perfectly with this kind of genre, honestly, because like it's already mystical in the way that you use VHS and the static and everything to mix this kind of horror romance thing it's spot on.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, a lot of the effects work was probably the most complicated I've had to do. Especially, so all the actual tape distortions and glitches are actually handmade by me, like editing the movie entirely digital with like the segments that were actually shot on VHS as well, then burning it onto a VHS tape and then taking that VHS tape apart and then poking holes at specific points in the tape to get those glitches to look exactly right after like crumpling it. And then transcoding that back into the edit and then like scaling it around and doing it at different like things by adjusting the tracking so I could get like specific glitches at the right moment. But yeah, that was really complicated, but I'm very happy with how it turned out.
Well, it's an amazing movie, so we're really happy how it turned out. And Jack, we are just so excited to talk to you today because you have all this amazing stuff going on in your life. Not only this amazing movie, which is going everywhere in film festivals from all over the world. Congratulations, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
But you have another movie coming out. You're going overseas this fall, and you are...
well, yeah, I just graduated high school.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I know, I'm free from the terrors of high school, which is kind of great. Yes, I just graduated Denver School of the Arts, which was honestly the best place for me, and I adored my time there, and it was such like a great place for me to grow my film knowledge and continue working on lots of films, and I've been able to make so many great movies out of there. But now I am actually moving to Prague to study at the Prague Film School for cinematography, so I'm actually really excited for that.
We're so proud of you, dude.
Oh, thank you.
And you keep making stuff, and we just love it, and that's what we want people to be doing. So I do have a question. As far as going to like an art school and everything, where do you think the pros and cons lie with that?
Well, it was mostly pros for me. I mean, cons is, the con is also a pro, but the academics can be a bit messy. But that was a pro for me. And yeah, I mean, like, I think I ended the year only having to take like 2 classes. And like, I got to go to school like every other day and just did film. So like, that was awesome for me.
That's perfect for you.
Yeah, I know. I got to sleep every day. It was great. This is an endorsement for my school. I love Denver School of the Arts. But yeah, no, it was a great place for me. And I think just what the biggest pro for me is that it is just a community of different artists for like every type of art that you got to collaborate with. And you have actors you can go talk to for your movies, or like musicians. And actually one thing that I feel like with Flesh of Another was I was able to mix so many of the talents of all like the wonderful people at my school that I've been able to learn like from and like grow with over the years, and just kind of mix it all together. So actually that was probably my favorite thing going to school there.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Well, I do think Denver School of the Arts is great in the way that it kind of models what we want for the state, right? A big local community where you don't have to worry about some of the messier aspects of what maybe you're not the best at, but you can really just dive right in to making movies, making art, talking to people, building a community that makes a stronger film and a stronger art society. I think that's one of the things that's great about DSA. And I think it kind of helps with your whole zeitgeist, because if you're stuck with a bunch of artists, you're really going to start getting into what everyone's like really on, because their artists have one quality above all else. They really want to be on top of what trends are, people are talking about what people are talking about. And that's what is interesting about you, Jack, because you're like the lighthouse played on a Shrek VHS TV.
Yep, that is a very good summation of the vibe of my life and my films.
Yeah, it's exactly, but it's all those things mixed together. It's like if TikTok was downloaded into a person and then we put it onto a VHS, stabbed it a bunch of times with a screwdriver, re-encoded it.
Yep, that is scarily accurate. Wow, I think I might need to go home and rethink my life.
Well,
this is free therapy.
Oh my gosh, yeah, this is great.
We do have episode 3 with you now, so by now we've got you figured out.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I have been interviewed quite a bit.
You could say you're one of your favorites, or maybe we just like to bully you a little bit.
No, I think it's wonderful. I love going here.
Well, that is kind of part of being an artist, though, is like you're putting yourself out there, like,
yeah.
And you especially, like, because of how you write your scripts and how emotional you get in the storyline and everything, like with Father forsake me, why have you forsaken me? Sorry if I screwed that up.
No, you nailed it.
Thank you. But like to be vulnerable like that, and then to get so creative with like how you use your film, we love that here. We're all about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know, I always want to make just very unique and personal art, so that's a great compliment. Thank you.
Yeah,
well, this one is very unique, and if you guys haven't watched our last interview with Jack all about his movie God, Why Have You Forsaken Me, you can actually watch that right here. Check that out. It's really cool, but it's also like very personal, a story that you kind of narrate through. This movie, The Flesh of Another, has no narration, but it also still seems to be lacking that like divinity theme that was really so prevalent in the last one. So explain the difference and where you came from that.
Yes, I think one of the goals I think I had for this one is I do have a lot of narration in most of my movies, and one of the goals with this one was kind of telling it in less of like a very like looking down and having so much narration describing, like showing the mental process of each of the characters, like entirely showing that visually and telling that more through music. Which was just something I hadn't really done before, and I make a lot of music videos for fun, so kind of meshing a lot of my love of that, but doing something that was more like personal, but in like a memory way, and less of like this is what the people are saying and thinking, and just kind of like relating that through a montage of kaleidoscopic memory.
And that's an interesting way to present memory too. And Good Will Hunting is the only example that I can kind of think of that does that, with the scenes with young Matt Damon and his dad. So did you take that from inspiration, or where did you find this idea?
Actually, well, kind of on Good Will Hunting, but a big inspiration on the movie through Gus Van Sant is My Own Private Idaho. So same director, and it's a very different movie than Good Will Hunting, and it's a lot more experimental, and but I do think the way that film portrays memory is a very like impressive way, and was a big inspiration for me, and how it's like just bits and pieces of things kind of strung together. But a lot of my I guess like I just have how my brain remembers things is very like non-linear. So I feel like a lot of my films end up being very non-linear and like cross-cutting between different points in time, because that's how my brain, like, it goes from here to like something a few years ago. And I think the other main inspiration for that is definitely the films of Terrence Malick, and the way that it's just like it feels like it's just you're watching events unfold, but you don't quite know when or where, and it's really just driven by the emotion of memory.
Well, how about we actually show the guest a scene?
Oh my
to
gosh,
kind
I
of
would love
play
to.
that out and show you how Jack's incredible mind works.
So Jack, do you have something to tell us?
Yes, I'm actually a cannibal. No, definitely not.
Well, you're also a poet.
I guess I think
You're an artistic cannibal.
I'm an artistic cannibal. I'm a cannibal of film, and I love eating different parts of film and like spitting it out into some weird mix of
and
something.
poking holes in it. Clearly.
And poking holes in film. I do really like doing that. But yeah, no, I think in the idea of cannibalism, I do think the idea of cannibalism and how it does play a lot in a lot of my recent films. It's more like metaphor, especially in this film, the cannibalism is used as a metaphor for taking aspects of another person's personality in a relationship, where like over time it's just like the two people start just kind of becoming one, and like how like things are almost like stolen, and a lot of the film, like each of the body parts that gets eaten are like direct character relation things that are set up earlier in the movie, like and what their like activities are, and like how one character is really into film and viewing things, and then he might get his eyeball eaten out. No spoilers. But yeah.
Well, not to get really creepy, but just the idea of becoming one is like a relational thing. You know, you do become one person when you like marry someone or commit to someone. But then like the idea of cannibalism and murder in general, which I think this is cool how you kind of tied it together, is a very intimate like thing, you know? And so to put it between like in a relationship is actually in a way like kind of realistic, and that also makes it even more creepy.
Yeah, no, I definitely like, it was definitely funny filming the scenes, because each scene I tried to film, I tried to like film it how it would be filmed in like a romance type movie, but even if it's like them eating each other, but having that kind of like contrast between like the comfortability between the two characters, but they're literally getting eaten, in the way that it's filmed, was definitely something fun to experiment with, and really funny to see my actors try to handle while we were filming, and me trying to explain how to direct.
Well, I thought it was romance is a good term for this, because it's just like you, Jack. It's a little precocious, because this concept of these two people becoming singular and then taking aspects of each other, stealing. When I think of that, I imagine older people. I imagine like an old couple, and you have like these two teens just stealing from each other. Do you see that in your personal life?
No comment. I don't need any exes suing me. But no. Honestly, I mean, like, I do feel like a lot of the movie, while it is horrific, and I feel like that is just kind of a natural part of just a lot of relationships and stuff, but I do feel like I'm an old person at heart.
I love a good old soul. Okay,
Yeah.
So before I'm starting to get a little vomity here, let's go on break as I think of couples eating each other.
We actually have something better planned, because It'll avoid wanting to vomit unless you have a revulsion of cigarettes.
Game time.
Okay, perfect. This I was meant for this.
So your last movie, Jack, and the very first movie we saw from you was called The Marble Man in the Apocalypse.
Smoking is responsible for more than 480,000 deaths per year in the United States.
Yes.
Yes, and we love that movie because it's
So
so
much.
classic. If we're talking precocious, a 16-year-old dressing up as the Marble Man to give you fatal warnings through PSA ads on TV. Very funny. So we devised a game for you called Where There's Smoke, There's Fire.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
So, Jack, you are basically the only person I can talk to about some of my favorite old movies.
Oh, yay.
So this is a game of trivia questions for movies where people smoke.
Great.
That's right. Today we talked to the Marble Man in the Apocalypse, Jack Cosgriff, and because I already know that you know your cowboy trivia, I'm going to ask Jack about old movies where people are just constantly smoking. It'll be like Mad Men a little bit, but this time overtly sexist rather than just instead of ironic. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm so ready.
Okay, great. Question number 1. Where there's smoke, there's
Fire.
Anyway, in the movie All the President's Men, which, folks, if you want to watch my movie, All the Student Council's Men, check out this link in the YouTube. Anyway, Robert Redford famously asked Dustin Hoffman, "Do you ever stop smoking?" But Watergate informant Deep Throat asked Robert Redford to do what? Is it A, get avocado toast with him in a cute little brunch spot the next day? B, make out with Deep Throat passionately in the parking garage while he gives him information about Nixon? D, help him get a real group of plumbers to the Watergate because his shower is running out of hot water? Or D, follow the money?
Okay, I do know it is D, but I like B a lot. I feel like that'd be quite funny for the name Deep Throat.
Right, you are correct.
I do love that movie. That movie's great.
That movie
and
is
I love
great.
your short film.
Ah, shucks. If I only had the chance to finish it. Man, imagine how good it would have been as a whole series. Anyway, question 2. Grace and King, call me. This question may not mean a hill of beans to you, but The Maltese Falcon, starring Humphrey Bogart and Mary Astor, is all about Private Eye Sam Spade trying to find the whereabouts of a stone falcon, blah, 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 cynicism 1940s. So the falcon is a real thing. It's a real prop that was actually made out of, whatever Maltese stone it was. And it has been a prized possession to a lot of different people. So what city is it in now since it was bought in 2018? Is it A, Malta? Duh, we returned it. B, Spain, the original place the Falcon was supposed to go in the movie. C, Iran. Gosh darn it, they won. Or D, Las Vegas.
Oh, gosh.
No.
That one's actually hard. I do like Maltese Falcon a lot, and I'm not sure the answer.
Well, while you tinker that over, I just want to remind you, Jack, you may not know this from the last time you were on the show. We added a little twistedy bit. If you don't get the question right, we kick you off, and then Julia and I have to talk about cannibalism, and she's already halfway to vomiting now. So we need you to get this right.
Please get this right for me. I can try to help you, okay?
Oh boy, do you know the answer? Or? Okay.
Okay, so the first one was it was returned back to where they got it, right? Or where it belongs?
Do you think Americans would ever give things back?
I don't think they would. Okay, I'm gonna say Las Vegas.
I would say Las Vegas.
You
or
are correct.
Yeah.
It is Las Vegas.
Okay.
You didn't need me.
You didn't need him.
So that wasn't a call a friend, was it?
That wasn't a call a friend. It was a nervously look at a friend.
I was like, oh.
So in 2018, Steve Wynn, who you can look at his background and make assumptions about that, but he bought it and he now owns the Maltese Falcon, and I'm sure it could be somewhere better. Anyway, question 3. The movie Grease.
Oh, yes. I would know this one. I know this one.
Oh my gosh. This is the only one of the 3 movies I haven't seen, actually.
No way. You haven't seen
I know,
Grease?
I haven't. Well, I watched a bit of it, but I never finished it.
Okay,
but-
I've watched it too.
I'm going to tell you
Twice.
this right now.
It's Grease.
Grease 2 is funnier.
Ooh, hot takes.
They're
Hot
not
takes.
supposed to be funny.
It's
Okay.
well, I think John Waters with the idea of high school is much more realistic than Grease is. Anyway, the movie Grease, which came out when John Travolta was still handsome, shows Olivia John Newton smoking to impress the pink ladies at her first sleepover. But the pink ladies all make fun of her because A, she doesn't have a crush on Kaniki, the Lothario of the California high school. B, she doesn't know all the lyrics to Sangria by Sublime. C, she calls Lauren Dern, Julia.
I saw that on the podcast and I burst out laughing.
Lauren Dern.
Lauren Dern. Hey, you know what? I take pride in my inability to talk.
You can, but you better respect the queen. You take ability and your pride for that.
Oh,
Or D, she vomits every time she does something bad.
It's not A.
D again.
Correct.
It's D.
Yes,
Yes.
they were all D's.
Just like your high school report card, all D's. That's what.
Yeah, no, my little
Okay,
transcript for
Hunter,
the last
that
year
was
was pretty
me.
rough.
Never mind. It was real.
No, yeah, he got that one pretty spot on. My mom can confirm.
Well, congratulations, Jack. You're all A's here.
Yay.
D's are for degrees.
D for degrees. But this show does get an A for having Jack Cosgriff on it, and we'll get an A plus when we have him back in just a few minutes.
I'm Mike Rose from Grand Design, and I had a couple questions for you. Do you love R&B music? Do you love soul music? Or maybe you like hip-hop music? Do you ever wonder where it all comes from? Don't worry about it. Grand Design has got your back. We got this new documentary called BBBB, which stands for Breaking Barriers, Building Bridges. It's about the history of black music in America and the entire world, and how it all relates to black civil rights. You don't want to miss this. It is coming out next week, July 6th, on Grand Design's YouTube. We're releasing the first 4 episodes, and it's gonna be dope.
Jack, you know what I'm gonna tell you. I need my fix.
Uh-huh.
I need to bite into something dark and evil.
We do not encourage needle use. It looked like you used.
All right, fine.
Did you just? He just used the
I need my
needle,
hit.
and I'm just very uncomfortable with
Fine,
that. But anyways,
let me.
no, you get
let me
your
tell you,
you get your crazy fix. Anyways,
Yeah.
sorry.
So when do I get it? And then B, what am I gonna get first? Because obviously, if you're making a nice masterpiece about cannibalism, you're gonna tease us by doing a whole bunch of other things first, like you always do.
Well, point is, what is the movie? My new movie is called The One and Only Athon, which is actually funny because I was intending the movie. I started filming like actually basically a year ago today, and has basically been like done for like a while. And it was supposed to come out before The Flesh of Another, but due to me being an idiot, it has not. One of the main things, so it is a horror movie, again, body horror revolving around cannibalism, and it is about kind of satirizing PSAs. I am in love with satirizing 80s VHS PSAs that I can find on archive.org. But this one's specifically around like body image and eating disorders. And it's just kind of cerebral psychological horror, which is totally my jam. But the entire movie, I guess, is shot on VHS tapes. It was on VHS-C tapes, which is an aspect. We did use the same VHS stuff for Flesh of Another, but instead of having a hybrid of digital and VHS, this one has been entirely VHS. So the workload has kind of been definitely unique, and something that I've had to get used to, and having basically every frame come from a tape has definitely been hard to work with. I also broke my VHS camera midway through, so then I had to get a new one.
Oh, no.
So that has been a thing that has been a bit messy. And then some other just kind of conflicts. I had a final cut of the movie, and I broke my computer, and it was saved on the desktop. So I had to re-edit the movie working off of a rough cut that was a bit older, which actually ended up being good because now I've been able to restructure the movie and be like, oh, there's a lot I need to fix here, but it'll be out eventually. I think we need to do one more shoot and then we're done. I don't know. I think the goal is, I would like to have the movie preferably done before I leave. That is kind of the goal right now. The edit is actually working really well. I think you've guys seen a rough cut of the movie, but
it's in a good spot.
yeah, it's getting there. I definitely have to do kind of the similar tape distortions, but like, you know what? We'll aim for like a September release date.
I do like that you cover like eating disorder kind of like body like image and stuff like that. It's good seeing a guy cover it because you know we see a lot of girls come out of it, but I feel like men have a hard time being honest about like their body image and like their insecurities. So
yes, and that was kind of the goal for the movie. I think I actually talked about this on the other thing, but I just like I'd seen a lot of movies that like didn't really relate to personal like actual experience, and it was more like using eating disorders as like a gimmick in a film, and that was something because like I have a lot of what will I say? I have a lot of stomach issues, and I actually just had a lot of recent health problems where I had to get tested a lot. So that ended up kind of having a new influence on the movie, and actually throwing in a lot of shots in the movie recently after I had like a procedure of the inside of people's stomachs. Yeah, so that was definitely something that added a new layer to that movie. Yeah.
interesting.
Well, I think it's very interesting, Jack, because you show it in a variety of different people's body types when you show different, body horror issues. And I think eating disorders are definitely a part of that. And, as someone who also had, an eating disorder growing up.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club. Filmmakers who can't eat.
Filmmakers who can't eat, yeah.
I always recommend almonds for people who can't eat.
I know. I think you did that last time, too.
Yeah, because,
Almonds, just eat some almonds.
Yeah.
They are, and they're so healthy.
Well, so you're tricking your brain thinking, I'm not going to gain weight from this. Also, if I vomit this up, sharp.
It's going to hurt, yeah.
It's going to hurt. Sharp. Can't do that.
You can do that with spicy foods, too.
You see... you see this skin? You see the inside's the same, blanco.
Yeah, no, I'm a complete spice freak. I'm like,
I love spices.
I know, like that's my favorite thing. I'll get all my friends together and we like try like the most painful hot sauces and then be in pain for like a good bit. That's my little side activity. I sound like a masochist.
I love it.
Well, you're also a filmmaker.
I am a filmmaker, so that goes one in like in the same hand, I guess. I don't know.
Geez, this episode covers eating disorders and cannibalism.
Cannibalism. Yeah, no, we're getting all the topics.
All the lovely topics.
I'm pretty sure cannibalism is an eating disorder.
Oh.
Or it's a sex thing.
Actually, no, cannibalism is vegan. Depending on how you look at it. If
what?
It's consensual. No. Okay. Well, because veganism, part of the thing is consensual. So the cannibalism in my movie is probably not the most consensual. So I guess that wouldn't be vegan. But I did have this argument with a group of people, and the consensus is it technically is, if the person agrees, it is vegan.
They're not Oreos, Jack.
I know they're not Oreos. I don't know.
Please
is
frame this as not an endorsement.
This is not an endorsement. I don't recommend people eating each other. Don't eat your partner. Don't eat your family members. Don't eat yourself. That is my disclaimer for legal reasons.
But feel free to be vegan.
I wish more people were vegan, and I wish I could probably be vegan.
No. Don't do that. Eat what your body needs to eat. Don't do a trend. Just do what your body needs. Yeah. If anything, I
need to taste the flesh of another.
Yeah. Sometimes you do it as maybe this is just from someone who just really needs to hear this, and maybe it's myself. You have to eat what your body tells you.
Yes.
Or you'll die.
Yeah.
And you can't die because, Jack, out of all the shining stars in Colorado, you are far, far one of the brightest, and we just love you so much.
Oh, I thank you guys.
Yeah, I always love our unique conversations. I feel like he brings out a different side of us.
Yeah, I know. I spur some weird conversations.
You make us young again, Jack. I haven't felt young in such a long time.
You gotta quit smoking.
You remind me of a younger version of myself. The one who still had dreams.
I'm not even gonna try doing that.
Oh my God.
It's good to be aware of your limitations, I guess.
Yes, definitely.
Oh my gosh.
Game time. We're gonna have a fun one. This is a bit of a trend going on TikTok. Hunter was desperate to play this game.
Oh, I certainly am.
So we're going to be rating movies based on certain facts about them. So the title is
This movie is. And if you've seen TikTok, you might see something like the guy is an 8, but he doesn't wear sandals. So he just walks barefoot around. So what would your score for be that guy? He's a 2.
Yeah.
Don't
I
be
don't
barefoot.
like feet.
Don't like
I
feet.
don't like feet. Good
So-
to know.
good
Fun
to know.
facts.
Fun facts.
Fun facts about Jack Cosgriff.
I think feet are disgusting.
You are
Perfect.
the anti-Quentin
I'm
Tarantino.
anti-Tarantino. Keep those socks and shoes on. I don't want to smell your nasty feet.
I don't want to tell you.
Foot
nasty-
prisons. Jack is pro foot prison.
Yes, I am pro foot prison.
All right, we're gonna do 3 different ones. So movie number 1. This movie is a psychological crime thriller, but it's directed by Ridley Scott.
I think I like 2 Ridley Scott movies, so I think I'm going to give that like a 5.
5.
I liked Prometheus.
I actually really like Prometheus too.
It's better than we gave it credit
I know
for.
people like hate on it so much, but I think it's like, I don't know. I like it more than like a good chunk of the Alien movies, but like, I mean, the first Alien is the best Alien.
Yeah, it's the first Alien, then the third Alien because of the promise of David Fincher, not what David
Fincher was. Yeah.
And then Prometheus, and then the rest of them are just so because of that. Really,
Alien Resurrection, am I right? No, Alien Covenant. That's the only movie I've ever walked out of.
Ooh, really,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah, no,
I've
I
never
relate.
walked out of a
I
movie
relate.
theater.
I was with my dad and we were like, this is the worst thing we've ever seen in our life. And like halfway through, we were just like, yeah, let's just book it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My family walked out of Avatar because of the naked ladies. It was a weird thing. So I would give it a 5 because he makes me feel weird when I watch his stuff.
Okay.
I don't like feeling weird sometimes.
I'm sorry. I'm just getting over what Julia just said. 4. They gets a 4. All right, Jack,
All right.
it's your turn. Okay, ready?
Okay.
The movie is a psychological horror film, but the woman has sex with a car.
Oh, I know this one. Oh my gosh, I
That's a
actually
10.
know this one.
That's a 10.
It's a 10 for me too.
I'm indifferent because it's just so uncomfortable for me. So I'm just gonna say I'm indifferent
You have to. That's not how the game works. You
Oh.
tell me a number.
because I thought it was like
Tell me a
brilliant,
number.
but I also was uncomfortable. So I'm gonna give it a 7.
There you go. You see, sometimes discomfort is sexy too. Okay,
It shocks me every day that I work with you, honestly.
Julia, I could say the same about you, but juxtaposition is really what surprises people the most. And I think that's successful in film. Anyway, here's mine. So the movie is directed by Christopher Nolan, but either the scenes go backwards and you don't understand what's happening, or you can't hear it and it goes boom.
I'm gonna say like a solid 6.
I'm kind of digging it. I'm gonna give it a 10.
I'm going to give it a 10 because somehow it's still going to be great.
I started watching Tenet, and I wasn't all there, but I didn't finish it.
So, Jack, I'm going to tell you this right now. You have to be all there. And maybe this is my advice for college for you. So we actually did something special. You win, same email. We were checking if you were actually going to read the email. We got you. You said you wanted a VHS as your graduation present. So we, as conservative parents, we got you a movie that you should not follow as an example. This is Road Trip. I watched this in middle school on VHS, by the way.
Oh,
that
perfect.
proves just how my childhood was, not how old I am. Wink. But this movie's called Road Trip. It's got a lot of people who you'd be surprised it has. And it's a movie you can watch, but it's not a movie you should be like, I want to make my college experience exactly like this.
It's the do's and don'ts of college.
Mostly don't. So
It's the don'ts of college.
it's the don'ts of college. So
Road trip, more like don't trip.
don't trip. So yeah, you're right. Actually, you know what? That's the best advice.
Yeah,
we
that's
can
actually probably.
give. Don't trip.
Don't trip.
You're going to be in a country you don't know the laws of.
Yeah.
Jack, here, happy high school graduation. Here's your VHS
Oh my
copy of
gosh.
Road Trip.
Thank
I
you.
bought it at Goodwill this
Oh
morning.
my.
Oh,
This
that's
is
why you
so
were at
wonderful. Oh wait, I was pointing at the wrong camera.
There you go.
There it is. Yep. It's the
There we
one
go.
with the red light. Cute. We'll zoom in on your face
Yeah,
there.
you can't. All right. And Jack, thank you for being on the show. Is there any last thing you want to tell us before you head off into the world?
I don't know.
The real world.
What do I want to say? It was nice while it lasted.
Oh shit. Jesus, Andy Warhol. Don't bring that 27 club bullshit into my house.
Yes, I will try not to. I'm trying to think. Actually, yeah, I don't really know. I'm just excited to keep making movies and keep being supported by you guys because you guys are the best.
It's just, I just
Aw.
think it's so cute because you're over here making like cannibal movies, and I'm just excited to make.
Yeah, no, I'm a
movies.
really like upbeat, nice person, but I make like these like weird, disturbing movies. Yeah, no, I think my friend, I have a friend of mine, and he was like, Jack, if I like only knew you through your movies, I'd like send you straight to a mental hospital, like no question. Like I don't know how your school hasn't like expelled you. Like I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of confused as well because I feel like I'm a pretty chill guy.
Yeah, he's a pretty, and to support the pretty chill guy who makes cannibal films, make sure to check out his YouTube channel, his Instagram, and all of his stuff. Give him some support. He's gonna be in the vault.
He's going to be in the vault, and he's going other places. You are in so many cool film festivals, and you're going to be on the Hollywood Walk of Fame soon enough. Don't you worry, Jack.
We'll see.
Maybe not Hollywood.
Oh, you know what? You can do Baltimore. You know what? You can be like John Waters. You're going to be the John Waters of Colorado.
That would bring me so much joy. I hope I don't have a movie with actual feces in it, though.
Yorgos Lanthimos did it. You can too.
Oh yeah, I really like him. I like The Lobster a lot. I couldn't finish the Dogville movie or
Dogtooth?
Dogtooth. That's what I meant. How did I say Dogville?
Dog.
Yeah, no, I should probably give that one another shot. But I love The Lobster, The Favorite, and Killing a Sacred Deer.
Yeah, come on, bring your microphone over, you silly little goose. Okay, ready? Let's get. All right, so Julie, hey Jack, thanks for being on the show.
Yes.
Oh, yay.
All right, Julia, take it away.
Wait. Am I redoing it or?
You're okay. That's,
It's Jack. Jack just brings out another side of us.
I bring out the inner child.
okay, ready? All right, Julie,
Camera's over there.
and look. Oh, no matter what you're doing,
No matter where you are.
stop.
We already did that. You liked the first one.
And I enjoy. Well, we're just gonna do it over
Okay.
and over again.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, are we gonna do it again?
No.
Okay.
And no matter what, and just remember, Colorado, you need to stay creative. And don't eat your friends.
And yeah, don't eat your girlfriend or boyfriend or.
Yeah, don't
Well, you can do that,
yeah, don't eat anyone's partners. I don't condone that.
but you can eat your own partner with the context you're supposed to have that in.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm just gonna move over here.
Yay!
All right, stop that recording.